Hi there, my name is Bobby Walters Carlson, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my lesson plan book. For this assignment, I chose the theme Exploring the World of Insects. As we scroll down here, you can see my learning objectives that I have written out for this lesson in ABCD format, and my intended audience would be second grade students. The objective for this lesson would be that students will identify and describe at least 3 characteristics of insects after engaging in a provocation activity and discussion with 80% accuracy. Here we have the California Science Content Standards for second grade life sciences. So I have written out the standards and their connection. So students will identify insect body structures and explain how they help insects survive. Here is my provocation activity. Now, provocation activities are super great and important because they help students really play an active role in their own learning. So they're able to participate in hands-on activities through observation and questioning, and the teacher really gets to pull back and observe them and really just guide them through prompts. So my activity here is that students would be introduced to a mystery box labeled Insect Investigation. Before opening the box, students would observe close-up images of various insects and share what they notice and enjoy so far with the activity. The box will contain toy insects, tools such as magnifying glasses, and other exploration materials. So they're able to work in small groups and begin to identify these insects, what makes them unique, what they like about them, with limited but helpful prompting from the teacher. The students will also be introduced to new vocabulary and how it pertains to what we're learning. I have listed out some of those vocabulary words there, as well as the materials that we would need for the activity. And a visual example of what I would buy for my future classroom if I were to do this activity. So we have some little toy bugs and magnifying glasses. So the lesson goals would be that through guided instruction and visual supports, students will learn that all insects share common characteristics. So the main thing here is that they're going to be able to identify 3 main body parts of these insects. What makes them similar? What makes them different? Are they a part of the same categories of insects, and really sharing with the class what they like about them, what they don't, any questions that they might have. And we would create a diagram to reinforce these concepts and support their understanding. So here is my lesson overview. So during guided practice, students will work in groups to sort images into 2 categories, insects and non-insects. As they sort, they will explain their thought process using this lesson. This lesson's learned vocabulary. So that's a big thing, that they're putting what they're learning into practice as a group, testing out these new words and how they pertain to the content. So then students will work individually and draw and label an insect that was the most interesting to them. This is a great way to also observe students and what sticks out to them the most for future activities. But this portion of the activity will allow students to demonstrate both their understanding of the content and their own personal creativity. So assessment and discussion. So a big thing here is that we'll have a class discussion to go over the activity, and through this discussion, we will have our exit ticket. So students will be asked to name 3 characteristics of an insect to demonstrate their learning during the class discussion. And then here are several ways that I would support diverse learners. One way would be this activity already incorporates visual aids, but if a student is struggling and requires sentence frames, so more prompting from the teacher, we can work together on the activity, or they can work with an aid, so that way they don't feel unsupported in the activity, that they feel fully capable of succeeding and understanding the content. For advanced learners, students that really love the activity and want to push it a step further, they can research and share facts about a specific insect. If they already have that information, some kids do, some kids love bugs and are already really fascinated, and so may already have those fun facts they can share with the class during the discussion. If not, we can encourage them actually to go home, watch a nature documentary, or maybe something even on Disney Plus that there's plenty of nature documentaries there on bugs and different wildlife. So that way they come back into the classroom and it encourages that momentum for future activities during this unit. So my overall reflection here is that I believe that this is a really well-rounded lesson that encourages curiosity and active engagement for students in several different ways, both in the classroom and outside of the classroom. Using the provocation strategy, students will be encouraged to take ownership of their learning and building fundamental science skills in a meaningful and long-lasting way. This lesson incorporates multiple intelligence as well. So for our diverse learners, or just every student who learns differently, can feel accommodated because we're using a lot of different methods here, so that way everyone can reach that level of understanding. We have hands-on activities, we have verbal discussion, that encourages them to use their newly gained vocabulary. We have logical thinking incorporated into the activity because of classification. We have interpersonal skills that are being developed because of collaboration. There's a lot of multiple intelligences that are happening in the classroom during this lesson, which make it easier for more students to follow along and feel like there's a place for them. So this is my lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching.